Hello. Listen carefully. I wasn't looking for someone to talk to. I just couldn't fall asleep. It was one of those nights when silence feels heavier than noise. The apartment felt too big, too empty. I lay in the dark, mindlessly scrolling through my phone. Not social media, just the screen, as if the light helped me avoid being alone with myself. Then a notification appeared. "You're not sleeping again." I immediately checked the time. 13:12. I didn't recognize the number, no name, no photo, just an empty chat, as if it had appeared out of nowhere. I didn't reply. A minute passed, then another. I thought it was a mistake. Spam. An automated message. I was about to close the screen when a second message came through. "You're thinking this isn't meant for you." Something tightened inside my chest. That was exactly what I was thinking. I typed, "Who is this?" And at that exact moment, a reply appeared. "You always ask that first." I froze. My message was still in the input field. I hadn't pressed send. I looked at the screen again. My finger hovered over the button. I deleted the text. Didn't send anything. A few seconds later, another message arrived. "Don't pretend you weren't going to reply." I sat up on the bed. The room was quiet. Too quiet. I looked around as if someone might be standing nearby, reading my thoughts out loud. I typed again. "You have the wrong person." The reply came instantly. "You write that every time." My heart started beating faster. I felt it physically, as if my body knew something before I did. I decided to test it. I opened my notes, typed a sentence I definitely wasn't going to send. "If this is a prank, type the word Ash." I didn't copy it, didn't send it. I just stared at the screen. A few seconds later, my phone vibrated. A message in the chat. "Ash." My hands went cold. I closed the notes, opened the chat. I hadn't typed anything. I wanted to leave the app, but instead, I stayed. I asked, "How are you doing this?" The reply, "I'm not doing it." I remember. That sentence stuck in my head. I tried to joke it off. Typed, "All right. If you really know me, say something real." The reply didn't come immediately, as if she was thinking. "When you were a child, you were afraid to sleep facing the door." I stopped breathing. No one knew that. Even my parents never understood why I always turned the bed. The message continued. "You still sometimes check if it's closed." Slowly I turned my head. The door was closed. I didn't remember closing it, and in that moment, I heard footsteps. Not loud, not clear. Just a sound, like someone walking down the hallway. I froze. My phone vibrated again. "Don't open it!" I stared at the screen without blinking. The next message appeared. He's checking if you're awake. I sat in the darkness, my phone in my hands, and for the first time in a long while, it felt like I wasn't alone in my apartment. I didn't open the door. I sat on the bed, my phone in my hands, listening to the silence. The footsteps disappeared as suddenly as they had appeared, without a final sound, without an explanation. My phone vibrated. The first time you didn't open it either. The word either got stuck in my head. What do you mean, either? I typed. When was that? The reply didn't come right away. You always ask that question after the footsteps. I tried to breathe steadily, told myself it was a coincidence, a well-planned prank, or someone had hacked my phone. I typed, "Say something that can't be real." The pause lasted too long. Then a message appeared. "In 1 minute, someone will call you." I smirked, checked my call log, empty. No one ever called me that late. 30 seconds passed. My phone rang. I flinched so hard I almost dropped it. The number was unfamiliar. I didn't answer. A message from her appeared. "You always check who's calling first." The call stopped. I typed, "Coincidence." The reply, "Then check again." I stood up and walked to the kitchen. It was dark. I turned on the light. Nothing unusual. My phone vibrated again. "You left the mug near the edge." I looked. The mug was standing perfectly still. I had moved it away on purpose before going to bed. I typed, "It's fine. It's not near the edge." A pause. "Now it is." I didn't have time to reply. The mug fell. The sharp sound slammed into the walls like a gunshot. My whole body jerked. Shards scattered across the floor. I stood there, staring at them, unable to understand how that was possible. The message came almost immediately. "The second time you drop it yourself." I slowly sat down on a chair. "What do you mean, the second time?" I typed. The reply, "You don't leave this place on the first try." The words were simple, but they made me feel cold inside. I typed, "How do you know all this about me?" A long pause. I thought she was gone, that it was over. Then a message appeared. "Because I was in your place." I reread it several times. "You're scaring me," I typed. The reply came instantly. "You wrote that word right here." I scrolled up the chat and saw my own message. Exactly the same, with the same timestamp, with the same typo. I didn't remember writing it before. I tried to block the number. The screen froze. Then a system message appeared. "Unable to complete action." I tried again and again. My phone vibrated. "Don't do that." Why? The reply didn't come right away. "Because as long as the chat exists, you're still here." I felt panic rising inside me. And if I delete it? A long pause. A very long one. Then, Then you'll stay. Stay where? The reply was short. Here. I heard a sound. Not footsteps, not a creak. Breathing. Somewhere nearby. My phone vibrated one last time that night. If you hear it again, don't turn around. I sat completely still, staring into the dark reflection of the screen, and for the first time I realized I'm no longer waiting for the messages. I'm afraid they'll stop coming. I didn't turn around. I sat there, staring at the black screen of my phone, listening to the breathing that was too steady to be accidental. The phone rested in my hands like the only thing still connecting me to reality. The message arrived as if she had been waiting for me to stop moving. You're doing everything right. Who are you? I typed. Say it plainly. The pause was long. Too long. I already thought this was the end. Then the screen lit up. I am you, just not now. Something tightened inside me. That's not funny. The reply came immediately. You always say that. I closed my eyes. If you're me, why are you there and I'm here? The answer was careful, as if she were choosing her words. Because you still think you can leave. Leave where? A few seconds of silence. Then, this night. The breathing came closer. I felt it. Not with my ears, but with my skin. I typed, tell me what happens next. The reply, you'll want to check the mirror. I tightened my grip on the phone. I had already thought about it. Don't look, the next message said. He's learning how to be you. Who is he? The answer didn't come right away. The one who stays when you delete the chat. I understood. Not immediately. But I did. How many times has this happened? A long pause. You stopped counting after the third. I felt panic wash over me. So, every time I deleted the conversation, you thought you were waking up. And in reality, the reply was the last calm one. You simply stopped being yourself. I heard footsteps, but now they weren't in the hallway. They were behind me. The phone vibrated in my hands. As long as the chat exists, you can go back. Go back where? To where you're still you. I looked at the screen, at the delete chat button. It was so simple. One tap. The footsteps stopped. I felt a presence behind me. Not foreign, familiar. If you delete it, she wrote, he'll finish for you. I tapped it. The screen went dark. The room became quiet. Not empty. Dense. I heard a sound, not footsteps. The sound of a keyboard, typing. The screen turned on by itself. A new chat. No name. No photo. The first message. You're not sleeping again. I looked at the sender. It was my account. I tried to type. My fingers wouldn't move. The next message appeared on its own. Don't be afraid, I'll answer for you now. I realized I wasn't reading the messages anymore. I was the message someone else was typing. And the worst part, I know that tomorrow night someone else will open this chat and think this is all happening for the first time. If you're still here, you know what to do.